Let's start out with a simple example of aggregation in MongoDB to motivate how this stuff works. Now I'm going to start out with an example from the SQL world of relational. Let's say we had a products table, and that products table had a name, category, manufacturer, and price for each item. So this is a table of electronics items. It might be an iPad, which is a tablet from Apple with a price of $4.99. If I wanted to get a report of how many products there were from each manufacturer, the way I would do that in SQL is select manufacturer, comma, count star from products, where I group by manufacturer. And this would give me a report that would provide me the number of products from each manufacturer. Again, it's select manufacturer, count star from products, group by manufacturer. There's a comma right here. Now, if you don't understand SQL, this is not critically important, but if you do, it might help you. The report that we'd get would look something like this. We would have a manufacturer, and then the count star for each one. So we would have a little report that said, okay, Apple has 2 products and Samsung has 3 products. So it's this group by clause that is very interesting, along with this aggregation function, which in SQL was count star. All right, how do we do that in MongoDB? Let's go and look at a collection that is very similar to that table from the relational world. Here we have a table of items that are exactly the same as the ones that were in the other relational table, where each one has a name and let's say a Kindle Paperwhite and a category, tablets, and a manufacturer, Amazon, and there's like 6 or 7 things in this collection. It's pretty small. I just created it now. How would we aggregate so that we could find out the number of products from each manufacturer? The way we would do that is as follows. I put this collection in a database called aggregation, so that doesn't matter. That's where I put the collection. We would call the aggregate function, and this is how you do it in the Mongo shell. And this unit we're going to focus mostly on the Mongo shell because it maps very cleanly to the drivers, and I don't think it adds a lot to explain how it works in the drivers. But let's say we do db.products.aggregate, and again, products is the collection. I want to do a group by, and then I would have a $group operator, and then I want to group by manufacturer, and I want to get the count. And the way I do that, we'll explain this how this works a little bit later, is we create a new key called numProducts, and we sum for each one 1. And we're not going to explain exactly how this works right now because I want to go through it in the following lessons. I just want to give you a high-level overview of the aggregation framework right now. But I want you to just notice a few things about this command. The first is that the $group operator is in its own document, so $group right here. The second is this is in an array, and there can be other operators, and we're going to go through how that works. But for right now, we just have the one. So I had open parentheses, and I had an open array here. And then I have a document with $group. The value for the $group operator has a couple different parts. The first part is _ID, and you can kind of think of this as creating a new collection where we're going to group by manufacturer. Manufacturer was a key in my collection, but now it's data to this. It's a field, and as a result, we have to prepend this $sign, and the whole thing needs to be quoted. And then it's going to create a new field called numProducts that is going to call the $sum operator and add 1 for each one. We'll go through exactly how this works, but let's just see it work and see what we get. Okay, we get back 5 documents, and each document corresponds to 1 row that we might have gotten back if we had done a group by manufacturer in SQL. So for instance, the first document is Amazon, numProducts 2. The second document is Sony, numProducts 1. The third document is Samsung, numProducts 2. So this is just a simple overview and an example of how you would group by manufacturer in a collection to get back aggregation results. Now it's your turn to write a query. Here's the quiz. Let's say you had a collection of products, just like the one I just showed you, and you wanted to count the number of products not by manufacturer, as I just did, but by category. So you just need to go back and look at how that query works. Have the resulting key be called numProducts, just as I did. You just need to change the column name here from manufacturer to category, or I should say the key name. That's all that's required to get this to work, and we'll explain how it works in subsequent lessons. But I'd like you to type that below. And just so it makes it easier for us to grade it, if you could double quote all of the key names, that would be helpful. That's not strictly speaking necessary, and I didn't double quote everything, but just double quote it all. That'll make it better.